We said yesterday that Oklahoma City would build a lead.
We did.
We said that Indiana would come back.
We did.
And we said Oklahoma City would close them out.
We did.
Why bother watching? All right, so
we're 3 for 3 right there.
Yeah. If Haliburton is not
healthy,
and they're not going to win games.
He didn't look healthy. He, of course, made no field goals. 0 for 6. He went 0 for 4 from 3. It just looked like he did not have his burst because his ankle is the problem. It looked like every time he drove, per fans courtside, you could see him wince. And if you're wincing as a basketball player who has to drive the basketball and handle the basketball as much as he does, that's not great. And the one player who it felt like carried the load for them last night and brought them back in this game was TJ McConnell. And Rick Carlisle has now gotten kind of a little bit of flack in media. People are understanding both sides, saying, well, Tyrese Haliburton is your star. He's gotten you here. Even if he's injured, 80% Haliburton is better than 100% McConnell. But TJ McConnell had 18 points last night, was firing on all cylinders for them, had 2 steals, was playing lights out, and got them back into the game. And then all of a sudden, Haliburton comes back in. They can't get going.
Right.
And Jalen Williams has 40 points and wins the game.
Well, Jalen Williams, I mean, going into the series, I said that, look, this will be this year's Jaylen Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's played that series about the way Jaylen Brown played in the finals last year against Dallas. As for Haliburton, he's not just a scorer. He's invaluable as a scorer, no question. But he's an excellent distributor. You can still distribute. Okay? And if you want to take a minute off in each quarter with him more, sure. But look, coaches know their personnel better than, I know it's shocking, than the fans or Stephen A. Smith. It doesn't really matter. And the bottom line is that, McConnell came off the bench, but McConnell's come off the bench other times where in Game 3 he was terrific. In Game 4 he was non-existent. Mathurin was great in Game 3, non-existent in Game 4. So it's been a hit or miss with these guys. Just because McConnell had a good night last night on a night where Haliburton struggled, that doesn't mean much to me because the game plays out over 2.5 hours. There are reasons that you do certain things at certain times, and it wasn't like McConnell didn't play.
No.
He played.
He played really well. He had 22 minutes. He had 18 points. He went 1 for 2 from 3, 8 for 14 from the field.
22 minutes is almost half the game.
4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. And you mentioned Haliburton and his playmaking. The problem is for Haliburton, a lot of his playmaker revolves around when he can get downhill. He is as good as anybody is, if not the best in the league, because he averages like 14 some odd assists, it seems, at times during the season, at just distributing from getting downhill. When he has an 18-point, 14-assist game, that's when he's on fire. Because just a little bit of scoring is what it matters for him. But the problem was he could not get downhill. It's already tough when you have Lou Dort and Jalen Williams and the rest of the Thunder defense swarming you. And when he doesn't have the extra burst to get around them, it then takes away his ability to get to the spot to score. Like, he can't do what he did when he did a pull-up shot to win a few games ago. He can't do that. He can't even get to the point where he can get some separation. So he loses that part of his playmaking. That takes away a whole half of his game. And when his team isn't making their shots, 36% is good. They needed them to be better shooting the ball. At the same time, they were down 2 and threw the rest of the game away in the fourth. That they had just Pascal Siakam had 6 turnovers, Nembhard had 4. By the way, the Thunder had 27 stocks in this game, 15 steals and 12 blocks. Shea had 4.
Which is,
incredible.
Defense has been the calling card for Oklahoma City all season anyway, forcing a lot of turnovers. It is the first time that Indiana has been behind in a series during this playoff run It is the first time in this playoff run they've lost back-to-back games.
They have not lost back-to-back games since March.
It is also the first time that Oklahoma City has taken a lead in the series. So that's where they are, going to Indianapolis for Game 6. It was, it was a good game. It was a good game. The crowds there are great. And it is what it is. There's an intensity to it because they're two really good teams, but at the same time, the games don't have any star power.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't want to hear about he's the MVP and the whole thing. I'm sorry, America doesn't know who he is. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm talking in general. You can keep mentioning all the time SGA MVP, SGA MVP. It's not resonating. Mm-hmm. Right? It's not resonating. It's what the NBA, I don't care what Adam Silver says, this is what they've feared for a long time. And part of it's their fault.
Yeah. They need to build back up stars like an Anthony Edwards, a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a Tyrese Haliburton. They need to get these stars to where LeBron and Curry and KD are, because that's how you keep your league in the same realm.
But you have to help them. And I made this point last week. Part of your job as a league is to recognize what you have and accentuate it, okay? Oklahoma City, here's their marquee day. They brag over and over again. The NBA owns Christmas. Mm-hmm. Great. All right. That means last I checked, you did the scheduling. Mm-hmm. Where was Oklahoma City on Christmas Day? Sitting at home watching everybody else play. Nobody watched them play, right? You want to put them in a spot where, for example, you want to put LeBron on, but instead they had LeBron and Steph Curry head-to-head, which was an overreaction by the NBA to the NFL. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay? They should have had Oklahoma City play one of those two teams. Mm-hmm. They should have Oklahoma City play the Lakers with LeBron. That way you got the, hey, LeBron, Lakers. Oh, wow, this Oklahoma City team's pretty good. Hey, the SGA is pretty good. Right? Mm-hmm. When you're not putting them on national TV, when you have a national TV package, how many times did you watch Oklahoma City during the course of the season?
Maybe once or twice.
Okay, they were barely on TNT. Mm-hmm. They weren't on that much. Mm-hmm. And yet, game after game after game, you're like going, wow, that's 50 ones. Oh, that's 60 ones. But nobody saw them. Cleveland did get a little more run.
But even so, they didn't get as much as they should have.
No, they didn't get as much as they should have. They had that memorable game in the Garden where they were down 24, rallied and won. Mm-hmm. That game was televised. But Cleveland got very little run.